Hello, 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 everyone. Hello. Why does the chat take so long to sync up on OBS? Very frustrating. Hope everyone's okay, though. I can't see your messages just this second. Bear with me. Come on, sync up, please. Very annoying. Why is it not working? Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Annoying. Very frustrating. Figure out what is up with this. There we go. I've got you on my YouTube dashboard thing, but for some reason my OBS chat isn't working, which is really annoying. But we're rock and rolling. We're rock and rolling, which is the main thing. But how is everyone? All good? Morning, Ant. Morning, Racing. Dan, Gamer, Liang, Mark, Brad, Paul, Levy, Gabriel. Anyone else I've missed? Glorious August day. Yeah, it's nice and wet over here in the UK, and it's green light. Pit exit is open. And no one's going out just yet because it is tipping it down in Zandvoort at the moment. So no one's making their way out, but I'm sure they will soon. Ah, there we go. There we go. Chat is now synced. Why does that take so long? Wow. Why does that take so long? Oh, well. Anywho, I can see the chat. So welcome. We're in for what's going to be, I think, a very wet day at Zandvoort. The F1 Academy drivers went round earlier on, so that's basically the women's series, and I think they had some issues. But seriously though, how is this reasonable that it rains in mid-August? I know. But yeah, I don't think anyone's in their car at the moment. I don't know why. I don't know why you would. I mean, especially if it's going to be qualifying in the rain later on. But hopefully it's not a quiet hopefully it's not a quiet FP3 session, guys. Who is responsible? Hey Dan, yeah, very well, thank you. Yeah, very well. All going good. 6 weeks until 2 become 3. Thanks, Brad. Hey, Nico Hulkenberg, who put it in the barrier yesterday at turn 1, is gonna be heading out for us. Happy days, happy days. Of course, they did some wet weather running yesterday morning. Magnussen also making his way out there. So if you remember rightly, last year the race started in wet conditions, but then dried up, and then it got wet again, and very interchangeable race last time around. Bottas going out there as well. I did see George Russell hopping into the Mercedes, so Lewis in 2025. Tyres, my Bono is gone. Yeah, he's being promoted, isn't he? He's being promoted. So that's probably a way of them ensuring that he's not going to go to Ferrari with Lewis. They obviously didn't want to lose Bono. He's been there. He's been at the team for obviously a very long time. And they didn't want to lose him, so he's being promoted. But apparently he is going to be still a engineer to a driver. And that driver most likely is going to be Kimi Antonelli, because as we mentioned, it's kind of like an open secret that Kimi Antonelli is now signing for Mercedes. And Toto Wolff let slip yesterday. But Kimi, he's focused on George. And so he was talking about Max Verstappen. And he openly was asked, did you go for Max and stuff? And he said, yeah, I had conversations with Max's team for 2025. He will not be joining us in 2025. I'm focused on George and Kimi. So that's basically him, slip of the tongue, confirming that Kimi Antonelli is joining Mercedes from next year. We all knew it, and it's going to be announced in Monza next week, is what the rumours were, because he's Italian. Bono's going to be doing 2 jobs. Next year he will be, Mark. Yeah. 2 over 3. You are staring the light at the end of the tunnel straight in the eye, and the light. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. But just make sure they won't lose another go. Good to see new names on the grid, though. We said it yesterday. It's good to see that, look, Ollie Behrman's coming through. Antonelli, Jack Doohan's been given an opportunity. Who else is going to be new on the grid next year? I mean, you hope that Liam Lawson will be. I'd almost be treating Liam Lawson as a newbie as well, because he only did, 5 races last year. So, yeah, it needs to freshen up, doesn't it? Definitely needs to freshen up. If they sign Kimi now, it's possible we'll end up like Sargent. No, I don't think so. I think that Kimi Antonelli has shown a lot more than Sargent in the short time that he's been in motorsport. He's done a lot more in regards to testing as well in F1 cars. Like, Mercedes have put a lot into his development. He's a multiple European Formula champion, junior Formula champion in like F4 series. He skipped F3 straight into F2, and look, it's taken him a bit of time. It's taken Prima a bit of time with these new F2 cars, but he's had some really good drives, some good overtakes as well. Like, there's a lot. I've seen a lot more from Kimi Antonelli in his short time in F2 than I ever saw from Sargent in the F2. So, yeah. I'm looking for a man who watches F1. There's plenty of them about. Plenty of them about. Put it in your Tinder bio. Bumble, I don't know. I don't know what dating apps are out there now. I've been off the market for some time. Could have missed today's Kelvin. Yeah, FP3. It was only FP2 yesterday. Not too much happened, so it's all good. It's all good. It's good to be back after the summer break. But yeah, it looks like we're in for what is going to be an interesting qualifying session this afternoon. So it's currently wet out there at the moment, as you can see from the intermediate tyres of Oscar Piastri. Sainz and Ricciardo out there with wets. I mean, it doesn't look like it's properly wet conditions. I'm just watching the TV coverage now. I say that, Oscar Piastri nearly went through the chicane. Looks very wet on the entry into the chicane, but maybe that's why drivers are coming into the pits to switch onto the intermediate tyres, so we'll see. But it's going to be important this running in FP2 because FP3, sorry, because it's the last session we've got until qualifying this afternoon, which it does look like it's going to be wet. So, but then similar to Spa, how it was in Belgium, where we've got a wet Saturday but then a dry Sunday. Qualifying mix up because of rain, yeah, Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Who do I think will fill the remaining seats, Luca? Well, isn't it... Don't we only have... I think that's it. I think Kimi Antonelli is... The Mercedes seat hasn't officially been filled yet, but we know it's going to be Kimi Antonelli. So that leaves one seat, which is the Stake F1 seat, which we know one of them is taken up by Hulkenberg next year before they change to Audi. And Bottas kind of let slip in some comments this week that he feels confident about his position on the grid next year. So that's only one place. So we could see a Hulkenberg-Bottas pairing. But Zhou, in a day, like the money that Zhou brings still is... Like maybe they'll get a call. Maybe Stake F1 will be getting a call from Liberty Media, just like Red Bull got for Sergio Perez. We've got a Chinese Grand Prix. Please don't get rid of the only Chinese driver on the grid. Why do I not stream FP1 as well? Because I still work full-time. I still have a day job, and FP1 falls right in the middle of that working day. So yeah, I can't do that. FP2 I can get away with doing because it's at the end of the working day. It's Friday. I can always just hop on and finish some work that maybe needs to be done on a Friday evening. But yeah, FP1 is right like in the morning of my Friday. So I have meetings and stuff that I have to attend, unfortunately. So yeah, when this is a full-time career, the YouTube, Twitch thing, we will do every session that we possibly can, but not right now, unfortunately. Is Kimi to Mercedes confirmed? All but, pretty much, yeah. He let slip yesterday, Akari, in an interview, but he's focused on George and Kimi next year when talking about Max Verstappen. That's Toto Wolff, that is. When talking about whether he courted Max Verstappen for 2025. He confirmed he did. He had discussions with the Verstappen camp, so... What Red Bull? They will have one open next year. I read it in the news. Oh, we have yellow. Hulkenberg off again. Hulkenberg off again. He put it in the barrier yesterday. Maybe, probably not due to his own mistake. It was a very, very rare thing for Hulkenberg to be in the barrier, and it looks like he's lost it into the chicane, where I did say it was very wet on a TV coverage. He's got going again. Maybe not completely beached himself. But Nico Hulkenberg, has he got any damage on that car? It's not been a good weekend for Hulkenberg thus far, is it? He was off multiple times in FP1 yesterday when it was wet conditions. And then, of course, he's the one who brought out the red flag yesterday. It's very wet into that chicane. Very wet. Probably a bit too wet for these intermediate tyres. Let's keep an eye out on the TV coverage. Exactly what happens. Why is the TV coverage not gone to Nico Hulkenberg? Oh, he's lost his front wing. He's lost half his front wing. Nico Hulkenberg has definitely had contact with the barrier somewhere. He's damaged the front wing. Half of it's gone. Oh, it's battered. Absolutely battered. So, just waiting to see a replay, see exactly what Nico Hulkenberg did, which is why the yellow flag was brought out briefly. So he's had a spin somewhere. Is it the same issue that they had in FP2, where the car locked up under braking? We will see, we will see. Any upgrades for Team Stuffeyy? Not yet. Surely they'll chuck Perez. I think so. I think Sergio Perez will be gone at the end of the year. I think you could see... It depends what Isaac Hadjar does. Because I think if you... Am I right, guys? Does that rule still stand? That if you're F2 If you're F2 champion, you have to... You can't go straight into F1. Is that right? You have to sit a year out, don't you? Sorry, I've still got a bit of a... They are waiting so long. Oh, here we go. I was about to say, they're waiting so long to show the replay. TV direction now is horrendous in that regard. Oh! The brakes locked up again. Oh my god. The Haas has seriously got issues. The Haas has seriously got braking issues. Hulkenberg said, yeah, it's the same as yesterday. I touched the brake and lock up, and he just went straight on in these wet conditions. Something going wrong with that Haas, and Nico Hulkenberg is a danger to him. That car's a danger to him at the moment. Well, I wasn't streaming. Now you're happy. always going to stream these F1 sessions. Yesterday was a bit naff with the actual the sim racing side of things. I didn't enjoy that last night, but still coughing. Yeah, I know. It's the last thing I've got of COVID. Last thing I've got of COVID is I'm still a little bit like chesty. Yeah, it's the same as yesterday, Patrice. It's very odd. Very odd. Thoughts on Ollie joining Haas? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I think he could jump into Ferrari, similar to maybe what Kimi Antonelli is going to do at Mercedes and do a good job also. But, of course, we know Lewis Hamilton's joining Ferrari next year. But, yeah, no, I think it's great to see Ollie Bearman on the grid. It'll be a good stepping stone for him. He'll be fighting for points. He won't be languishing at the back of the grid. Let's say George Russell did for a few years in the Williams. And he's also got a path into Ferrari because Lewis Hamilton, let's say he stays for 2 years, 3 years. I think Ollie Bearman's only 18 as well. So, it's another yellow flag. George Russell bringing out the yellow flag into turn 1 as George Russell spun it into turn 1. Is he in the barrier? Green flag again. So drivers struggling out there in these conditions, and George Russell, maybe he just touched the curb. I think that's where Max Verstappen spun it yesterday as well. And there's a double yellow. Logan Sargent. Oh, left and right. Logan Sargent, who is out, and it's a red flag. This is most definitely a bin it, and Logan Sargent has binned it. Medical car deployed, and he has brought out the red flag into turn 4. Where has he lost it there? He must have aquaplaned, unless he's lost it on the exit of turn 3. But that car has travelled some way up the circuit there, up to turn 4. He must have lost it on throttle. And are we surprised? Logan Sargent bringing out the red flag in a practice session. Just waiting for the TV coverage, and I will tell you exactly what has occurred right after George Russell spun it into turn 1. Which the TV direction, again, is very lack of. So George Russell locked up, and he found the slip road. Oh, my God, Logan Sargent has absolutely... Oh, my God. There is not much left of that F1 car, of that Williams car. Wow. Wow, what has happened there with Logan Sargent? That is crazy. There's literally a tyre just rolling down the hill. Oh, the car's on fire as well. That car is in flames. Please tell me he's been able to get out of the car safely. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. This is a biggie, guys. I'd be very surprised if this session even gets back underway. Oh, he's got out of the car. Well done, Logan. Well done. Massive, quickly hopping out of that car. Black smoke. The car is in flames. The rear of the car. Oh my God, that could have been so bad. The rear of the car is basically absolutely smashed. It's in flames. Where are the fire extinguishers, please? The front end of the car, he's lost the front wing. Bit slow with the fire extinguishers there, they were. Bit slow. That is a massive one. I'd be very surprised. This could be a very long... might not even get any more running in this FP3 session. It depends, obviously, how long it takes to remove that car. But, wow. I'm still waiting to see a replay of the actual crash itself. But I'm going to assume he's lost... Yeah, I'm going to assume he's lost that on exit as he's getting on throttle. Maybe a bit of aquaplaning. Hey, Connor, he's not doing himself any favours. That's a big one. Well, he's out of F1, isn't he? But yeah, that's a biggie. The Williams team, I mean, I think they have the parts now, but that's like a whole replacement of a car. Like, that's a complete rebuild. Right, here we go. Watching the replay. So he's going through turn 3. That's okay. Oh, you absolute idiots. You absolute idiot. Driver error. He got on the grass on the exit of turn 3. On the exit of turn 3, he's gone over the grass. You got to get back onto the black stuff. Onto the track, Logan. Idiot. I'm sorry. No one else to blame but himself. That is ridiculous, Logan. He's just... What is he doing? He had the complete brain fart, and now that car is absolutely ruined. In flames. Wow. Logan Sargent. MJR. Logan Sargent. That's inexcusable. That's such a bad driver error as well. Such a bad driver error. So he's coming out the exit of turn 3, gets on the curb, and he just keeps his foot in it. He just keeps the steering wheel straight rather than going back onto the racetrack. I don't know what he's doing. That's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous from Logan. Inexcusable. Wait till you see it online, guys. I'm sure there'll be videos of it soon. But yeah, wow. So that's brought out the red flag. Logan is okay. He jumped out of the car in time as that car was engulfed in flames in the rear of the car. Looks like they've put it out, but could be some time, obviously, for them to clear that car, the debris, and repair the barrier as well that he crashed into. Bro really thought we could replace Gotifi. As long as he's okay, that's the main thing. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, he's okay. They could build a full new team with the money Sargent cost them. Yeah, he has cost them a shed load of cash, hasn't he? Throughout his time in F1 in the 2 years, so. Explains why he's getting replaced. Yeah, look, I still think they've missed a trick, really, in not replacing him in the summer break. I just think, what have you got to lose? Like, even if it was taking someone on loan or something. I just think anyone, even like a junior driver of theirs, put a junior driver in for half a season. Let's see how he will get on. Because Logan, unless he's bringing in also a shed load of cash, that they would be null and void if they did that. But anyone will do better than Logan Sargent. Anyone. I think there's a number of junior F2 drivers who would get more out of that car than Logan. Waiting for Stroll to do something silly. There's still time. There's still time. But yeah, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Lewis Hamilton not even getting out on circuit yet. They are in their cars. They are ready to get out there. So they are expecting the session to get back underway soon, it seems. Charles Leclerc only did an outlap, it seems, before that happened. Obviously, George Russell just locked up into turn 1, so he had to take to the escape road. It wasn't a spin. But look at that. Fernando Alonso. You see, in the wet weather conditions, the great nullifier, you see those drivers who are supreme in wet weather conditions jump to the top. The likes of Alonso, the likes of Hamilton, Verstappen. I think Piastri is starting to show that he's one of those as well, who seems to be very good in wet weather conditions. So, yeah. Morning, True. That F1 is back. Good to see it all back. Good to see the American making waves straight away. Flames. Making flames. Guys, making flames. Get Kimi in there prior to joining Merton this year. That was the rumour, Connor. I think they did propose that to... So I think initially that... So from what I have heard for the backstory is that initially... Toto Wolff wanted Kimi Antonelli to go into Williams. However, James Vowles wasn't keen. He wanted to build his own driver partnership. He didn't want to take a loanee, basically. He didn't want to just have a driver that then is going to one of the top teams. Like, we do all the hard work in developing him, and then he heads off to you. We don't want to be that team anymore. We want to be decent in our own right. And that then changed to a 6-month loan deal. Maybe, look, he can go in for 6 months to prep for next year. And then James Vale still went, no, I don't want to do that. So, hey, Vosh. Morning, Daisy. Good to see you. 3 Aussies on the grid next year. I know there is an unbalance in the force. There is an imbalance in the force, but there are going to be 3 Aussies on the grid next year. Unbelievable. What is happening to the world? What is happening to the world? Tucked up there behind my PC at the back of the car. Don't be chewing things that shouldn't be. Cats. But yeah, if you're just joining us, guys, welcome. So yeah, Logan Sargent has crashed at turn 4, or on the exit of turn 3, basically. Complete driver error, running his wheels onto the wet grass, which caused him to lose control. And thankfully, he is okay. It was a massive smash. The rear of the car was engulfed in flames. Logan was able to get out in time, so he's safe. But yeah, that's currently why we are now sitting with a red flag, and we don't know how long this is going to go on for, because, yeah, it was a fair old whack, a fair old amount of debris that needs to be removed from the circuit, and of course the barrier will need to be checked as well. Lonely or loony? Hey, Gabriel. You're not too late, mate. You're not too late. Do I think Lewis is going to win this weekend? I think he's got a very good potential of winning. Yeah, I think... Look, I think the two Mercedes, the two McLarens, and Max Verstappen. Yes, I'm excluding Sergio Perez. Yes, I'm excluding the Ferraris. I just think the Ferraris are quite evidently off the pace still of those top 5. Yeah, I think anyone out of those top 5, I mentioned, the 2 Mercs, the 2 McLarens, and Max, can win this race this weekend. The pace looks to be very close again, which is great. Who are the Williams reserve drivers? Good point, Scott. I don't know. Is it who's I can't remember what his name is. It Jack Aitken still? Is it Jack Aitken? Michael, look, we don't talk outside politics here, buddy. If you could please keep that to yourself. Don't care what your political affiliation is, but please, this is about F1. If you want to talk about F1 politics, by all means. But yeah, we're not here. This isn't the channel to do that, buddy. There's others you can go have that conversation. Have I attended Zandvoort? No, I've never attended any F1 race. I've been to Silverstone for the World Endurance Championship and saw the World. It was the last year it was there, actually. I went for a practice session. The best day I've ever had. I was on my own. I went to Silverstone on my own. It was empty. It was practice day. And I just walked around the circuit all on my own. Took loads of videos. It was great. My 2 friends let me down. And I went, I'm still going. So I went down to Silverstone, and I just had the best day on my own. Great. No one to annoy me. Could they move Checo to be reserve? Would it even be worth it? No, I think, look, end of the day, Checo is still going to be in F1, I think. But we may have to sit out next year. If they don't keep Checo next year, he'll probably have to sit out a year, but he'll be back in F1, Checo, because of how much money he brings. And a team will take that up. And I think Checo's a good midfield driver. I think he'd regain confidence. I think Checo is a driver that excels in an underdog position, shall we say, not in a top team, in a midfield team where he's able to. He was always like the tyre whisperer. He was able to take tyres like really long and overcut people, and that was like his jam. But then as he's got into the top team, he's done okay. But of course, he's found himself understandably wanting. Just don't let them break dance. Considering my knowledge, I'd go off at my first event. What, F1? Yeah, I mean, look, I don't even want to go to the race. I'd like to just go to the practice sessions to see these cars go around the circuit, go to especially like Silverstone, go to certain areas like Maggots and Beckett's and Copse Corner and Stowe and all of that, and just see the speed of those cars. As I said, I was fortunate to see the LMP1 cars, the Toyotas, before they were discontinued and changed to the hypercar, and that was just seeing them go through Maggots and Beckett's was unbelievable, the speed. And of course, they were close in speed and performance, weren't they? Those LMP1 cars to F1 cars of the time. Yeah. Would I like to join you next year in Spa? If there's a... Maybe Rocco, yeah. So it looks like Sargent's car has got back to the grid slot. So we'll see if the session's going to get underway again. So yeah, Arsenal, not sure if when this session's going to get underway. We will see. As we said, it was a fair old whack that Sargent took there into the barrier at turn 4 through driver error, driving over the wet grass, which lost control of the car. The car was in flames, had to be put out, quite a lot of debris. I think, considering we've still got 30 minutes remaining, I think we will get this session back underway. Of course, we have qualifying this afternoon, and if it doesn't get back underway, it'll be really intriguing qualifying. But just watching Yuki Tsunoda now on the TV coverage, looks like he's getting ready to get back in the car. So the teams do think that they're going to be back out on circuit pretty soon. Noob. RB sells a lot of drinks in South Africa right now, thanks to Checo. Oh, Checo brings in a shed load of cash from his marketability. He's definitely one of the top 3 most well-supported drivers on the grid. And of course, he has the backing of one of the richest men in the world in Carlos Slim. So, yeah, he's been kept on for financial reasons, and he will find himself in another seat in F1. Maybe not next year, because I think there's only one seat available now. But if he was to lose that Red Bull seat, he would find himself back on the grid in 2026, I think, because he brings so much money. Was there a race missed today and Supercars ran? They blew me away. Can't even imagine F1. Yeah, Supercars. I've never seen those in person, but I know how quick. I've seen some videos on YouTube and some clips, and they're crazy. Hey, AK. What else? What's my favourite circuit, Marianne? Silverstone. Silverstone is my favourite circuit. It's a race in sim racing, in real life as well. I just think it's just such a great circuit. Always provides great racing. There's a reason my most favourite circuits are like the fast, free-flowing circuits, which provide good racing. So I've always been a fan of Silverstone. Spa generally does provide good racing, although it didn't really last time out. It was really difficult to overtake. I love Suzuka as well. What circuits on the F1 calendar do I like? Red Bull Ring as well. Really do like the Red Bull Ring. And in sim racing also. They do really translate to great racing in sim racing also. Why is there a red flag? Okay, if you're just joining us, so I'm looking at so they're repairing the barrier now of Logan Sargent's car. It looks like they've cleared all the debris, so they're just repairing the Armco barrier. But so hopefully within the next 5 minutes, you'd think 8 minutes maybe, might get 20 minutes of running. Yeah. But Logan Sargent binned it basically, brought out the red flag. Interlagos, yeah, Interlagos is always... so, I don't like racing Interlagos in the sim, but I do like it as a race circuit in F1. I do think it's a travesty that Interlagos isn't the last race of the season. I did do a video on it, like a history video of I think six years or 6 races into Lagos has been the finale of F1. And every single time it was the finale, there hasn't been a boring race. There's always been drama. There's always been great racing, lots of overtakes, increment weather. Compared to Abu Dhabi, since Abu Dhabi's been, like, from a racing perspective, remove, of course, the 2021, because that race was boring, really, wasn't it? Like, Lewis dominated the race until, of course, what happened in the end. But taking every Abu Dhabi race there's been as the finale, can you pinpoint one that has been a great racing spectacle? Excluding the end of 2021, like the actual race in itself, I can't. It's always boring. It's just always boring. The title decides in the past have always been great there. Yeah, it needs to go back. But of course, they don't pay enough cash, do they? They don't pay enough cash. So, yeah, Abu Dhabi, pay a lot more. So that's biased. How about Nordschleife? Oh, I do like the Nordschleife, but I don't like it for racing. Like, it's not a great... So, this is controversial. It's not a great racetrack for racing. Because where do you overtake? The back straight, isn't it? Really? That's where most people overtake. So, I like it as a challenge, but you kind of wait 7 to 8 minutes just to overtake down the back straight. That's kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, I think it's the skill that's in the sim, but obviously to watch it in real life, like the skill of them following so closely is amazing. Is amazing. But yeah, as an actual, like, I think there's better circuits out there for actual wheel-to-wheel racing. Hockenheimring, yeah, it's travesty. That's not on the calendar. That's a great circuit as well. Say hit wrong button. How long racing? We don't know. We don't know. I'm going to assume on the 20-minute marks, 5 more minutes. They're repairing that barrier by Logan Sargent that he hit. So I'm going to assume another 5 minutes. The drivers think they're going to get underway again. The fans do. So, yeah. I think we are going to get some running in this FP3 session. Is this my job? Unfortunately not, Smirk. No, I work in construction. So that's my day job. But I work on the commercial side of construction. I'm not out there on my hands and knees building the project, shall we say. But yeah, maybe, hopefully one day, mate. Hopefully one day. But not right now. This it brings me a bit of pocket money, YouTube, which is great. But yeah, not enough to support a family and pay the bills. Ricky, yeah. Yeah, sorry man. I'm the guy who basically stops you from getting paid. I'm a surveyor. I'm a QS, so yeah. Oh, but yeah, guys, if you're just joining us, so I've seen that number go up for subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much. If it doesn't pop up as an alert, guys, yeah, sometimes that happens. But yeah. Where is the music? You can hear it, can't you? Surely you can hear it. Is it a bit quiet? Music? Do you want it turned up? Or do you want to know when the music's from? The music's from... so what is it called? Stream Beats. Copyright-free music, so... hey, Donnelly. No, I'm a quantity surveyor. Oh, you're a project manager, site manager. You work your way up, have you? Thanks for the dedication. Yeah, I love this, man. That's just why I do this. I love it. And if this can eventually be a career one day, happy days. Like that's the dream, isn't it? Being able to have a career, have your job be something that you don't see as work. And that's what this would be. That's why I gave golf a go. I used to be a professional golf coach. But unfortunately, kind of the money just wasn't there. Other circumstances meant that I left that career. But that was the same attitude that I had. So, oh, you only do privates, do you? Ah, fair enough. It's where the big money is, mate. No music, F1 engines. What's the time here? Time here is now... It's just past... 10 minutes past 11 in the morning. So a bit earlier, because I think Zandvoort is on similar time to... I think... Is the Netherlands an hour ahead of the UK? Or are you guys the same time? I'm not sure. Usually I get louder music. I could turn it up a bit. Sounds alright in my headphones, but of course I will listen to powers it be. Let me know if that's a bit too loud or not. Do I watch any other F1 YouTubers? Yeah, I do. I watch Tomo. I watch and listen to Matt and Tommy as well. Of course, I'm part of the Missed Apex crew, so if you want some great F1 content, you can tune in to the Missed Apex podcast, the YouTube channel, and on Spotify and Apple and iTunes and that. We just, not me per se, but we just interviewed one Pablo Montoya yesterday. So was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was Thursday. So Spanners and Trumpets, they just interviewed Juan Pablo Montoya because they're out there for NASCAR, and he's racing in NASCAR, so they spoke everything to do with NASCAR and of course F1, and apparently he was on top form. So we keep the content coming throughout the year, obviously race reviews and of course weekly episodes as well. It's 12:08. Okay, so you're an hour ahead, basically. Okay, cool. Messed around it because I like trying a variety of jobs since the foreign. We don't get these opportunities where you come from. Fair enough, mate. Yeah, fair enough. That's a good thing about construction is that there's a lot of there's a lot of opportunity in construction, especially for like upper management and stuff. Like you can definitely work your way up. You can start on the tools, eventually become a manager, site manager, project manager, director. Like there's good route of progression. That's why I went into it. But I like the comfy side of being in an office. I do get out on site, but I'm not I'm not building the thing per se. A lot of drivers back in cars, shouldn't be too long. Yeah, so my prediction of it going live this session at 20 minutes to or remaining is failed miserably, guys. So they're still repairing that barrier. Did I know that the Forza Horizon 4 game got delisted? No. I mean, I haven't played Forza in God knows how many years now. I'm on PC. I used to play it on just as a casual thing on Xbox, but since I moved to PC, I haven't played really those games. You're here in the Philippines earlier than you thought. Yeah, are you 8 hours ahead? 6 hours ahead? I know most of that region, Brad, is like 8 hours ahead of the UK. The other Montoya cheated in Spain, did he? I didn't see that one. Yeah, no, yes, if you're just joining us, guys, and you're wondering, why are we sitting here just chatting absolute waffle? Well, welcome to a Stuffeyy stream. But no, we've got red flag because Logan Sargent, who else, crashed into turn 4 there on the exit of turn 3, really. He idiotically drove through the grass on the exit of turn 3, that banked corner on the exit, and just where it's been raining, spun the car into the barrier. It was a big one, which is why we are waiting for that barrier to be repaired. It's been a good 20 minutes now since that crash happened. The rear of the car was in flames. Logan Sargent was able to exit the car safely, but yeah, a lot of debris. That car is... no way Logan Sargent is racing or participating in qualifying, that's for sure. And yeah, that's why they're repairing that Armco barrier, and it's taking a little bit longer than we would like. But drivers are sitting in their cars ready to just stick their helmets on and go out for a last few laps of running. It'd be really funny if Doohan said that Alpine put out the statement without his consent. Missed Apex strategy video was really good. Yeah, it was, Marianne. Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about Missed Apex is that, look, you have obviously guys like myself who like to think we know what we're talking about on there and give our opinions, but we do have actual professionals, guys who have had experience of working in F1. We had Mike Caulfield on recently, former Mercedes strategist and former head of Haas strategy as well. That was a great insight into how a head of strategy thinks, especially with like recent goings on in regards to like George Russell and stuff at Spa, and how Mercedes potentially overlooked that. We have, of course, who else do we have on as well? F1 journalists like Joe Saywood have been up and down the paddock for years. Chris Medland. So yeah, we're always keeping the content coming, which very few, I would say, other podcasts and F1 content creators do throughout the course of the year. Like, they may take breaks in the summer break or in the off season, but we don't do that. We don't do that. We're all year round, 365 days a year. Super Lights at Zandvoort next week, and also Ringmeister is Super Formula Lights in Australia. Yeah, gonna be doing the. I'm gonna be doing both of those next week. This week, Don. This week has been shocking, absolutely shocking for combinations on iRacing. I attempted F4 last night and I quit after 2 races because I was not in the right frame of mind, wasn't enjoying myself. And if I'm not enjoying myself, then there's no point in streaming, you know. You guys aren't going to enjoy it either. When he's qualifying, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Negligently would have been my word. He needs to be replaced. Go get Schumacher or even Chadwick. Yeah. I mean, who is the Williams reserve driver? Let's have a quick check at that, guys. Because you did ask that earlier. Now, I guessed Jack Aitken, and I'm not sure if that's still the case. Reserve driver. It says here, Williams does not employ its own reserve driver, instead utilising the Silver Arrows pool of young talents. Ah. So they don't have one. So they would most likely go out and... they're the only team, guys, that doesn't have a reserve driver. So this is here. So you can see Red Bull is Liam Lawson, Mercedes is Mick Schumacher and Frederick Vesti, Ferrari have Behrman, Giovinazzi and Schwartzman, Aston Martin have Drogovic, McLaren have Hirakawa and Pato O'Ward, Alpine, Jack Doohan, obviously RB is Liam Lawson again. That's really odd, isn't it? Williams are the only team that do not have a reserve driver. So I wonder who they'd call upon. Probably Mick Schumacher, you'd think, wouldn't you? I reckon they'd probably call Mick Schumacher. But really intriguing, that. Interestingly, still no time, guys, given to us of when this FP3 session is going to get underway. 13 minutes remaining now. Morning, Wonk. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better. 2 Formula Lights around Zandvoort. Can't wait. Might have to go by the Green Hill to do Ringmeister. Yeah, it's going to be a good last week. Super Formula Lights at Nordschleife, Zandvoort. The Super Formula at Zandvoort is good as well. So they'll grab one from, yeah, I think so, Don. I think it'd be Mick Schumacher. I'm not a fan of the GT4s. That's why I've avoided the Ringmeister. Evening, ML from India. Nice to know we're international. We're worldwide. Mr. Worldwide, as Pitbull would say. No copyright infringement intended, by the way, guys. I read, yeah, Logan Sargent, who else, crashed into turn 4. So they've been repairing that barrier for quite some time. It's the metal barrier, so the Armco barrier that he crashed into. Because of where he crashed as well, they have to properly make sure that that is repaired, because other drivers could potentially crash there also with how he lost it. But yeah, the DJ at Zandvoort is playing lots of loud music, just like what we're trying to do here as well. Trying to keep you guys going and entertained. But I don't have much anticipation that this session is going to get back underway with approaching 10 minutes remaining, guys. Is it dry on track? No, it's not. It stopped raining. It hasn't been raining for some time, so it will dry up pretty quickly once drivers are out on circuit. But yeah, no, it looks like it's like intermediate running at the moment. So, but we've had no cars out on circuit for the last 30 minutes. Oh, they're still repairing it, man. Look at it now. They got images of them working, and they're still repairing it. Might get 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of running. Also, what weather forecast for qualifying? It looks like it's going to be rain this afternoon, Marianne. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a wet one. Latifi, please drive such. No, we got rid of Latifi. We don't want Latifi back. But Sargent's on his way out. Of course, Sainz heading into that seat next year. Session. Oh, there we go. Session will restart at 25 minutes past. So how long's that? 6 minutes. So we're going to get, yeah, basically 5 minutes of running. 5 minutes of running. That's base. I got one prediction correct. 3 miles an hour. Currently in the demotion zone. Got one more week to sort it out. Yeah, same here, Matt. I mean, I'm planning on doing the Zandvoort, 100% Zandvoort race this evening, which I missed last night. So that should get some safety rating for me. And of course, if you got Super Formula Lights at the Launch Life, yeah, you can easily get your safety rating back up. Check over Verstappen, Lewis, 5 minutes left. Yeah, I think they'll all go out there. They'll just do some sighting laps just to see how the circuit is feeling. And then, of course, they do their start, don't they? Their practice start. Verstappen on pole. Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier, I think it's between the top 5 drivers of the 2 McLarens, the 2 Mercedes, and Max Verstappen. So I think that's where it's going to be between. But look, if it is wet this afternoon, anything can happen. You know that. Anything can happen in wet weather conditions. Especially if as we've seen drivers spin here. There could be a yellow flag that ruins a driver's lap time. Red flags, of course, as well. Yeah, session to resume, 25 minutes past. So not long, guys. 4 minutes remaining. But qualifying is on at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be live 15 minutes before it starts. So be sure to turn on your notifications for when we go live. They should pillory Sargent at the chicane. Yeah, it looks very like incremental weather out there. Doesn't look too nice at Zandvoort. But what's the track? So what's the track conditions? 24 degrees. 24.6 degrees track temperature. Very cool. Air is only 20 degrees Celsius. So the Mercedes, I still have that prediction of like the Mercedes, they perform much better in in cooler conditions. So that could play into their hands this afternoon. Currently on holiday, get back Monday night, Tuesday morning. Going to get as many races as possible before week 13. Yes. Yeah, same here. Week 13 is always a bit of a quiet one, isn't it? not too much to kind of look into. Are we getting the Spa rescan next for week 13? Are we getting Spa rescan? Stuffeyy, what happens if someone also co-commentate the F1? In what sense, Eden? What, on Sky? What do you mean, like myself? What, me getting a co-commentator? You guys are my co-commentators. Just watching that replay of Logan Sargent, I can't believe how much he ran over the grass. Like, just pure driver error. Horrendous driving. He binned it here last year as well, didn't he? Didn't he crash at Zandvoort last year also? I'll tell you what, there are a lot of photographers there. I wonder if they got some good shots there of that crash. No, you and someone else if someone wants to. Yeah, I mean, I have thought about it, about maybe getting some guests and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like I get into such a flow. A co-commentator would kind of be, I don't know. I do things my way, and I like the way I do things, and I get into such a flow that I feel like a co-commentator would just interrupt that, and alter the experience that obviously so many of you kind of enjoy. I'm always looking to improve the experience, not sitting still. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a co-commentator would just interrupt that flow, and it'd be difficult to find someone who's kind of on the same page of like what I do, basically. On your forecast, isn't it too bad for qualifying? Oh, has it changed now? Fair enough. I'd like to know which tracks he hasn't crashed at. You need to call Soundbar because commentators don't call Steak. Well, I still call them Steak F1. You can call them Sauber, but they're green, aren't they? Oh, it's been pushed back 2 minutes. Session will restart. Push back 2 minutes. Why didn't I commentate FP1? Thank you, Yujit. So I didn't commentate FP1. We said it before. I still work full time. I still have a day job. And FP1 is right in the middle of that working day. So I'm obviously busy doing that, earning money to pay the bills. So in the future, maybe we'll be able to do FP1. If FP1, like the evening races, I can do FP1 because I don't have to work, of course. But if it's in European time, of course, yeah, I can't do that. I can make FP2 because it's kind of towards the end of a working day, and it's Friday, kind of early finish. So that's okay, mate. No need to apologise. Did Apple try to put a bid to get Formula 1? I don't know. I mean, so I did read Autosport put out an article that Liberty Media, owners of F1, are trying to purchase MotoGP, aren't they? And supposedly they want to free up a £630 million investment into F1. So maybe Apple, maybe a company will do that. So, yeah. Maybe they will. Maybe someone will do that. How much sway would they have with that investment? I think it's purely just an investment basis. I don't think it's for. I don't think they'd have too much say in the running of F1. But Scott likes to talk and talks well. He is also his own commentator's curse when sim racing. I know. You are right. I do like to talk. The missus is always like, I don't know how you just continue to just there. She goes, I don't know how your brain works so fast. Just talk all the time. All my report cards growing up in primary school. Yeah, Scott's doing really well, but he does like to talk too much. He needs to stop talking. So push back another minute. So yeah, it's nice to know that that's kind of led to where I am right now, guys. Drivers making their way to the end of the pit lane, so we are going to get just a couple of sighting laps from these drivers, but not the practice session that we wanted. Thank you, Logan Sargent. Thank you. Logan Sargent brought out the red flag rip-off. Just like Crofty, I don't commentate FP1. They are They are bidding for MotoGP. Yeah, I don't think it's not confirmed that they've bought it yet, Matt. But they are buying it. Basically, they're in the process, but they're trying to free up some funds for it as well. So they're apparently releasing 630 million of investment into F1. Now, how much is that worth into F1? What is that percentage wise if you're in a controlling element? Probably not a lot considering how much they probably want for F1 Liberty Media. If they were to sell it, it'd be in the you're talking billions of pounds to sell F1 in its current state. So the master of waffle, exactly. That's what you guys come here for, the waffle. But we have track clear. Bosch and drivers should be making their way out. Green light, pit exit open. Woo, 2 minutes remaining. It was totally worth the wait, guys. Totally worth the wait. But yeah, not going to get much in, guys. These drivers just all getting out there to do their practice starts, just to get a feel of the track, of course, in its current state before qualifying in a few hours' time. I always had attention because I would always talk too much. It's a bit bad, though, isn't it, really, giving detention for just talking too much? Like, there's worse things to have detention for, you know? You don't like the Baku comment. You don't like the commentary because Harry Benjamin replaces Crofty. That's fair. I think Harry did a decent job, to be fair. It can always be very off-putting, of course, hearing a new voice when you're so used to hearing like someone's voice. I imagine the same was with Murray Walker when Murray Walker retired. That was probably quite jarring for a lot of people as well. Hulk is back out. Yeah. He only damaged his front wing. So one flying lap and practice start, basically, Scott. Yeah, that's what it seems like. If that, really. I think Magnussen deserves to be dropped, to be fair. Good luck to the poor guy who has to put together the highlights for this session. It's probably the easiest job for him. He can just put Hulkenberg and Logan Sargent spinning and crashing. Job done. He's already probably uploaded it and ready to post it. Nothing was happening, of course, YouTube, of course. Is the track wet? It's intermediate conditions. Wow, Max overtaking people in the pit lane. What is he doing? That's very ballsy and risky. What is he doing there? There's no need for that, buddy. Each to their own, but he overtook Piastri in the pit lane. He then overtook George round the outside. Did he go over the white line? Oh, it's very tight. Very tight. But there we go. Perez was the first car to take the checkered flag. Yeah. What an FP3 session, guys. Wow. Absolutely riveting stuff. Absolutely riveting. Why would they want to come out? Because it's their only opportunity. So at the end of every practice session now, they get to do a practice start, and it's their only kind of like time to properly practice their starts. Also, you want to get your eye in of the circuit. Like, you want to get a feel. Like Lewis, Verstappen, and Perez, like they hadn't even done a lap before getting out there, and they would have been going straight into qualifying cold. So it's like warming yourself up. It's like if you go to a golf range, you go play golf, like you can go out cold and just straight onto the golf course, but more often than not, you ideally want to warm up first and get a feel for obviously how you're hitting the ball and practice beforehand, and that's exactly what these drivers want to do. So yeah, and it's also final checks for the teams. It's final checks to make sure everything's okay heading into qualifying this afternoon. So that'll be a very interesting feature race. Only Sargent, K-Mag, Hulk, Stroll. No, we've got qualifying this afternoon outdoors. It's going to be an interesting qualifying. So, look, at the moment, the track is wet. It's intermediate tyres, so but it would dry. The way the forecast looks, it could be intermittent weather. The track, of course, is still quite green. There's only the Formula Academy cars that have been driving around there, so not a lot of rubber laid down, especially with the lack of running they've had in this FP3, that's for sure. So, yeah, qualifying is going to be really intriguing. Really intriguing. Logan will 70% won't start. He won't make qualifying, that's for sure. He'll probably make the race tomorrow if they've got the parts, which I assume they have, but... Tell us about the helmet behind me. Yeah, so this helmet is basically a... it's Lewis Hamilton's 2022 helmet. I need to make sure I don't knock the box off. And basically, I qualified for a Mercedes sim racing event. IWC, their watch partner, were opening a store in the Battersea Power Station in London. And as part of the event, of course, they had W12 Mercedes on iRacing time trial. I qualified for that event in London. And as part of that event, we got given like a goodie bag. Some iRacing. I got an iRacing hat up there, which I've never worn. I got like a Mercedes like power bank type thing. A Mercedes top, which I'm a bit too big for at the moment. Wait until I get a bit better in shape. And I got given that, which was really cool. Or we all got given it. So, yeah, really cool. Williams already had so many crashes this year and Logan crash looks bad. Do you think they'll be making any upgrade? No. That's what I mean. I'm surprised they've kept him in there. Which must mean that he also brings quite a fair bit of cash. So, for them not to replace him mid-season, and at least take a loanee. I think Mick Schumacher would even do a better job than Logan Sargent as well. I just don't see how you're gathering a lot of data from Logan. You're not if he's been in it. He's costing you millions of pounds. So, not seeing more rain at Zandvoort until 6 o'clock. Okay, fair enough. So it most likely will be maybe an intermediate tyre to start off with, because I don't think there's any support races between now and qualifying, or support race sessions. So it'll probably start being like an intermediate tyre and will dry out pretty sharpish, I assume, in qualifying. Quali is in, 3 hours, I think, or 2.5 hours. It's on at 2 p.m. UK time. I'm just going to double check that and make sure that is the case. It is, 2 p.m. UK time. So wherever you are in the world, 2.5 hours from now, because it's just gone 11:30 UK time. So yeah, just under 2.5 hours until qualifying gets underway, guys. Williams already bought new upgrades, basically a new chassis to this race. Oof. Yeah, but I assume that's probably on Albon's car, Howie. You'd be mad, absolutely mad to stick that on Sargent's car, wouldn't you? Unless it is on Logan's car as well. If so, I mean, wow. That's, an unbelievably horrendous session for Williams. So, but there we go, guys. That is the end of what has been a very quiet FP3 session. I think we made it. I think we got by, though, didn't we? We got by. Big thank you for all the subs flying in, by the way. Much appreciated. If you haven't done so already, please do. We'll be back, of course, in a few hours' time for qualifying, where things will be a lot more interesting. Who's going to be on pole position? Who knows? Who knows, of course. The conditions are definitely going to play a factor. And, yeah, it's going to be... who am I going to go for? I'm still going to stick with Hamilton on pole position. But it could easily be either of the two McLarens, of Norris and Piastri, Hamilton or Russell in the Mercedes, or Max Verstappen. I am writing off the Ferraris. I just haven't seen enough from them really to see that they are good enough really at the moment pace wise. So Verstappen won't get pole and won't win. That's your prediction. Ooh. They put the upgrades on Logan. Oh, shocker. Absolute shocker. Absolute shocker. Prediction, Piastri, Hamilton, Norris. Well, we'll see. We'll see, guys. We'll see. But yeah, that was a very interrupted, of course, session there. Thanks to Logan Sargent. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Logie Bear. Bringing out the red flag. If you haven't seen it, guys, go and check out, no doubt, what will be clips on the online, on Twitter and so forth. No doubt someone's posted the clip of Logan Sargent's crash. It's just a pure driver error. Ridiculous, really, that he drove onto the grass where he did. And yeah, that's why he crashed. So, but yeah, we'll see you guys in a few hours' time. I'm going to go set up the stream, so head on over to the stream. You can sit in the waiting room, of course, and you can also get your notifications on Twitch and on YouTube for when we go live. So yeah, big thank you for those who are on Twitch watching as well. We are multi-streaming right now. If you want to go watch us on Twitch, you can do. Or if you want to stay on YouTube, by all means. But yeah, drove in the grass for more grip. Listen, this isn't iRacing 2023, where you get more grip or cool down the tyres in the grass, okay? The grass dipping. It's 2024 F1. I think it was last year. Was it last year or 2022 that happened? Whichever year it was, you know. But yeah, no, thanks, guys. I'm going to go have some lunch, have some caffeine, and we'll reconvene in a few hours' time. See you then. Bye.